Aloha, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to start out by talking about one of the reviews, our weekly reviews we get from our active or just sold clients. But before that, Kenji, if you could go to my screen, I'm going to show our actual YouTube channel here. We have a store. If you didn't know, I know not everyone shops on YouTube, right? But you can go to our store here and order core team swag. I was just noticed at my kid's school the other day because I was wearing this shirt, and he's like, guy comes up to me, oh, I'm a big fan. I'm getting pre-approved and stuff. So you can get this stuff. And what we are going to start doing is you get one of these shirts. So I don't print these shirts. To full transparency, we set the store up through this through a partnership YouTube has with the print shop. So we upload our stuff. This is the same logo and same artwork that you see us wearing, right? But we upload our stuff and then they redistribute it, syndicate it, print it, whatever, onto different things, such as this cool hoodie here. I actually need one of these yellow shirts. I might order one for myself, the Hawaii lifeguard look. But what we want you to do is send pictures of yourself wearing these shirts to our team, and then we're going to feature you on the channel wearing our swag, and tell us where you're from. You're a local person who moved to Vegas. You're here in Hawaii. You live in Texas or something. Let us know. So shameless plug to our store. And we're going to put more stuff on there. We are going to be creating designs, Aloha versus the world, or, all kinds of cool stuff like that in the future. So whether you're watching this now or some other time, check out our store. All right. Each week we review with our clients, or I should say each week our assistant does a survey with our clients. 5 questions that I personally put together to ask our clients how the process is going or how it just went, if you just closed, if you just sold your home with us or just bought. Each week there's something that stands out, and this week it was Kenny. Kenji, you going to throw that on the screen? All right. And so, well, you know what? The way we're doing it, I can't even see it. I got to go to the live to see it, right? Okay. All right. Oh, okay. All right, guys. So you're going to have to bear with us on this. Okay, here we go. Kenny Baisley. So Kenny is one of just 3 other agents. Technically, Kenji, who does the videography, he is an agent, but he doesn't actively work with clients. Typically, occasionally someone wants to talk to Kenji because they want to know about the Black experience, because Kenji happens to be Black Japanese, or he speaks full Japanese because he moved to Japan, has a Japanese wife, etc. Occasionally he'll talk to people and just give local insight, but Kenji isn't actively helping clients typically. So, but it's Aiden, it's Kenny, and it's Mahe, and then myself. We probably won't be featuring many of me on here, but our other agents will be featured quite a bit. So Kenny Baisley, he is very excellent. He's been very good, very transparent. He said that he could help us find a place on Oahu because, my assistant types this. Let's forgive the typo. Because we asked about the Big Island. Very nice, very transparent, very open. And that is from Daryl. We should probably not include our clients' full names in these in the future. But yeah, so that's Kenny. Kenny is doing a great job with this client and a number of other clients. And so today's theme of this live, we're actually going to bring in Aiden and Kenny to talk about a deal that we just put together. I don't know what deal we're going to talk about. And I don't even know if Kenny is available. Can you peek outside, Aiden? See if Kenny's prompted. As always, ask us your questions. So in the comment section, let us know what questions you have, where you're from, even if it's just, hey, chiming in from Alaska, from Cleveland, whatever the case may be. Let us know your comments and your questions. All right, we're back. All right, so far I only see us as a commenter. We're back this time with the team to share details on recent deals. So Mahe's not here. She's on the way to Ho'opili, the new construction community by DR Horton, and she's doing a hot walk. So that's when you go through, put blue tape on things, and make sure everything is fixed that was supposed to be fixed. She's heading there to do a hot walk. What deals did Mahe put in escrow recently? Let me check. So every evening our administrative assistant sends us a text message. This what for the agents out there, if you don't have an admin system set up like we do, I don't know how you do it, because every evening we get this message from our assistant. So Derek and Mahi. Hi, Derek and Mahi. Good evening. Here are our escrow updates today for your reference. Thank you and have a great rest of your day. So amazing. We have, a deal that is closing soon. We have our Mililani listing that's closing really soon. And is Kenny on the phone? Yep. All right. You want to hop in? All right. I think I know what deal Aiden's going to talk about. But let's talk about a deal that we just that we've recently put together, whether it be sell, buy. And Aiden's not so much just shoot off the hips. By the way, I'm going to throw you on camera, guy. So round of applause for Aiden, because he loves being on camera. Right?
Yep. It's... All right.
What deal should we brag about?
I
feel like I have one, but
what's the deal?
No, but what would you, if you were to brag about a deal, what would it be? An escrow.
A referral. The military PCS, South Korea.
Okay, tell me about it.
So
Is L&D?
L&D.
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 Not labor and delivery.
So yeah, we started off virtual in South Korea, and they wanted to maximize their TLA.
It was months ago, yeah.
Months ago
You started off, yeah. And you were primary communicators. I didn't speak with them until way more recently.
Until closing.
Yeah.
So they wanted to maximize TLA. They ended up achieving that, getting their whole TLA, and ended up closing 1 day after the 61st day of their TLA. So they had to pay 1 day out of pocket, but they achieved a home that they wanted with the driveway. The wife's whole deal was she doesn't like parking in garages. So they wanted a 2-car garage, but she wouldn't park in it. She wanted a driveway. So...
that treadmill that you negotiated is going to take up one parking spot.
I negotiated a treadmill on a bill of sale outside of the escrow. It was like a $3,500 treadmill. I didn't know treadmills are that expensive.
Well, I was going to say, you actually have more experience than most in negotiating fitness stuff.
Oh.
More specifically weights, but...
Yeah, I can't say...
You've been known to trade some weights, huh?
I can't say I've ever traded a treadmill before.
Yeah.
Traded yeah.
But $3,500 mint condition treadmill for
never
$1,000
used.
bucks.
When you saw it, we took the plastic off of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Still had the screen protector thing, where there's a screen on it.
Yeah. And this was a challenging one because they wanted to maximize their time. Mm-hmm. And, so if you're not military, TLA, the acronym that Aiden's throwing out is temporary lodging assistance. So when military people get here, they start out with a couple of weeks of lodging assistance. You get per diem. It's profitable. As long as you're not going eating at a steakhouse every night, you're pocketing money. And if you don't mind hotel life, it can be a lucrative way to live for a little while. And you could get up to 60 days of that if you are actively pursuing rentals and or actively pursuing purchasing. And so for someone who doesn't mind the hotel life and wants to maximize return, getting your keys on that 60th day is perfect. I think we were able to achieve the 61st day.
Mm. It was going to be like the 65th.
Yeah.
But with collaboration with lender, we were able to cut that down to 61.
And how should I say? It was a challenge. It was a bit of a challenge because was this one of the properties that you literally could have written an offer on sooner, or did write an offer on sooner?
No, that was the one that they weren't able to get.
But basically, you could have gotten a lot more aggressive sooner, but just written it for a longer timeline.
Yeah.
So that you time that 60th day. But instead, there was some complacency until it was like, all right, now we need to get an escrow within these 2 days. And it's like, well, this is not shopping at Walmart.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into putting these deals together. So
Right.
despite being kind of behind the 8 ball, you're able to do it within a day.
Yeah, it was an interesting time and situation because the market wasn't as hot as it is now.
Okay.
So the opportunity to write a longer closing timeline when we didn't need it just to maximize TLA was possible. The opportunity wasn't taken. However, something now, if you have the opportunity to close in 30, but you choose 45 to maximize your TLA,
You might not get the house.
you might not get the house, and the opportunity to secure that house, depending on how long you stay, is going to outweigh those extra 15 days of TLA.
So to recap, typically, traditionally in Hawaii, a lot of agents, brokers would write their contracts for 45 days. Now, I think this is really lender driven because there's no agent that wants to take more time to get the deal done. But lenders, if you give them a little cushion, they'll take it, right? And lenders are actually, we might have the steering wheel, they have the gas pedal once we're in escrow. And so lenders will take the 45 if you'll give it to them. A lot, not all, but some lenders. And so the standard had just been 45 and 30 was being like perceived as aggressive. Well, COVID changed that because the market was so insane. People were writing their offers for as short as humanly possible. And now 45 is more of a rarity. In fact, we have a listing and it's at 45 and it seems like an eternity.
Yeah.
And so what Aiden was saying was when those clients first started looking more February, the market wasn't it wasn't heated up like Hawaii markets tend to do in March. And you probably could have written a 45-day timeline. Fast forward 2 weeks, market heats up in that February to March transition, and now 45 is not even an option. You kind of have to write it for 30 to be competitive. And you guys were able to, time it within a day.
Yeah, how quickly the market can change from exploiting a seller being like 45 days so that I can maximize my TLA to 30 days, and you may be above asking, competing with multiple offers. It's like,
especially February to March.
and if you're not keyed in, it's like you'll get punched in the face quite a few times before you realize, oh, wait, I have to be a lot more competitive. It's not like I can just come in leisurely, ask for credits, go below asking. It's not like that anymore, most cases.
And so I want to take that and kind of bend it and give a different angle. So if you do need to get punched in the face by the market, so if you do like, hey, I want to start lowballing and writing offers that involve a lot of credits and basically buyer heavy offers that are not advantageous to the seller, and you just need that feedback, we're okay with that for a period of time, right? Now, what isn't good business practice is to be writing $900,000 offers on $1 million homes 7 times a week for 9 months. It's not productive, and if we're being honest, that person's probably never going to buy. We're transparent and authentic, and that's why our clients like working with us. And so it just has to make business sense. But I'm not going to exclude someone from the opportunity to say like, hey, this is just a 4-year military tour for us. Whether we get house A, B, or C is not a huge thing. So I'd like to kind of lowball this one. I'm just starting my TLA. We write for 45 days. If after a couple of weeks, things aren't working out, we'll really start to, heed your advice and take into account what you're saying about the market. After we've gotten quote unquote punched in the face by the market a few times, I think that's okay. I think all these things are okay as long as communication is fair and clear.
Yeah.
It's when it's like cryptic, and you want to lowball, but you really don't want to have any conversation about why, and you just and it would go the same, right? That's why when agents lose clients, when they're like, I really think you should go this high, and you should, $1 million, you should go 1,010,000, and we don't really need to talk about it. You should just trust me. That doesn't feel good to you, right? And so it also sometimes it won't feel good if you're like 950, don't want any more conversation about it. Just write the offer. That's not productive over a longer amount of time. So,
But what if a client's like, Derek, I love this $1 million home. It's beautiful. It's everything I ever wanted.
And they're just getting started.
Like, this is the house. Like, we've gone to a lot of open houses. We haven't done a lot of private showings, but we've gone to a lot of open houses. This $1 million home, it's beautiful. It's exactly where we want it to be. I can see my kids growing up here. I can, it's a short commute to work. And you're like, all right, well, this open house has been crazy. I reached out to the agent. There's a lot of attention on it. And they're like, yeah, let's go ahead and make an offer at $950.
I was wondering if you're going to throw this back at me.
I was. Well, what do you say then?
So what Aiden's bringing up is a challenge that we have to deal with sometimes. And that's, there's this urgency and this FOMO and this, we really want to make this deal happen, paired with, but we want to get it for under asking. And then the talk, like the juggle is, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I was at the open house and I saw the 70 people and I know this agent and they already have 5 offers. And if you want to offer $950 for $1 million, like we can, but I'm just going to give you my full and transparent opinion about how competitive or not competitive that offer is. And it just is what it is. That's a challenging conversation. Just to reveal, behind the curtain of what we do, that is a conversation we probably have every week. In fact, Kenny, you and I might be having it today because we do have some clients who really want this house. And I guess that I didn't mean. Aiden took that as an opportunity to get off camera, but we have these clients today that they really want this house, but also aren't starting out anywhere where I know it'll be competitive. So we'll just have to give our opinion and see how the clients respond. We're not going to push. We're also not going to, it would only be self-sabotage if we're like, let's just like have positive thoughts about this. It's Aquarius season and there's a full moon and let's just hope that it goes through. That's not how real estate works. We do a lot of deals. And so what we tend to do is we will say, assuming you even have the finances and the structure to come in and be really competitive, we'll say, I think you probably take it here. I think this is kind of mid-range where a lot of the offers are going to be. And I think if you offer here, it's more of an exercise. And that's to answer Aiden's question. That's all we can do. And just be honest, authentic, transparent. And of course, if there's little things we can do, creative things, leverage a relationship, offer a post-closing occupancy that they didn't even ask for. So allow the sellers to live in it rent-free for a month. And if there's any creative or relational things that we can do, we'll do them. But if you're a seller and your house is worth $1 million, you're probably not taking $950, regardless of the creative things that Derek and Kenny do. So not that one necessarily, but I want to let's talk about a deal that we either just put together, just closed, or are putting together.
Pick one, because we're doing all of that.
Yeah. So what do you think? If you wanted to kind of brag on one and or just share like an interesting one. I mean, Ala Papa is super interesting. But
Ala Papa was very, very interesting.
But is that the one? Is that the one you want to do? And by the way, if you're watching at home, load us up with your questions because we are going to get to your questions. This is just what we had planned for the day. Also, in the YouTube, in the section where it's like playlists and about, we have a store. Go to the store, pick you up a t-shirt, a hoodie, a coffee mug or something, and then send us a picture. And we're going to feature you on this channel on these lives at some point. Maybe on a Sunday video too. We'll see. Cool. But yeah, what would you either brag about or just share about a deal recently, a recent deal?
I like Ala Papa for multiple reasons. There were quite a few challenges within escrow, both in the home and in timing.
Well, let's start. So clients come into us, have a dream of Hawaii and Kailua specifically that evolves into Lani Kai specifically.
Correct.
And if you don't know, Here, Kenji can allow me to bring up my map. Leave me a comment. Do you know where Lanikai is in Kailua? Do you specifically know where that is? But if you go into Kailua and you go to Kailua Beach Park and then you keep heading kind of southwest, or sorry, no, that never eat shredded wheat, east southeast, you go into this one way in, one way out community that's one of the most coveted communities in Hawaii. And you go to this beach, and I'd probably be better off showing you Lanikai Beach. This is specifically what they'd want. But single family homes in here, I mean, you find some 1.8 that need a lot of work, or, you know, in the lower 2 millions that need work. But for the most part, single families in here are starting 2.89 or to 3.2 and up. And so quickly evolved into this. I remember when you showed the house, you called me and you're like, "Hey, this house is like this is a unique house."
It's unique floor plan, very original in ways, but added on to, and there was questions about the rumpus room, the bonus space above the carport. There were some questions about post and pier work. There was more than normal repair that was going to be needed on the home that we could identify pretty layman.
Can you see this, Kenji? Can you see here? No. Oh yeah. Okay. So if you put a marble, here, let me close my water bottle. If you go to the back of this house and you put a marble on the ground, it goes like this.
Yeah.
So that means earth is moving, house is tilting. There was a time where I went in there, and when you were on vacation, and I felt kind of dizzy.
Yeah.
Aiden went in there too, right? Yeah. It was like,
got to pay attention to your feet. It had some lean to it. There were, I think, some of the reports were somewhere between like 6 and 7 inches of difference in, high point to low point. So the challenge there was doing our own due diligence and having an engineer come out and give us a report to kind of balance against something that the listing agent had provided from a previous inspection, kind of prepping to put the home on the market.
Yeah. Because they had fallen out of escrow previously. And by the way, Michael and Garen, we will get to your comments. I see them. Hold tight with us, please.
Yeah. So if there's a brag about this, I would let you speak your piece about, we really did kind of almost try to talk
that's my
specific client out of it. So that's for you. For me, moving forward, knowing that Derek's brag didn't stop them from this thing. Like, they wanted the item on the menu at the most sought after restaurant that they run out of every night. Like, they wanted it that bad, right? We were able to do the diligence, put the skills together, put the team together to make sure that they knew what they were getting into. We ran some underwriting to make sure that they were aware, if you're going to spend X, you're still going to come out looking clean. And to go back to your introduction of Lanikai to anybody that's not fully aware, they're really were the only home in Lanikai under 2. And so the work that they can put in should give them a solid return. It's just going to take some time.
Where they are in that neighborhood, so the way Lanikai works is there's this beach, and then it kind of goes up like this, and beachfront is obviously very desirable, and then perched up on the hill is very desirable because those are the 2 ocean view opportunities. And they have a multi-million-dollar view.
Yes.
So it's just going to take some work. Do you know what I would search to find that email of me trying to say, like, are you sure you want to buy this house? Do you remember the title?
No, but I can find it.
All right. Well, in any case, we reached a point where I felt it necessary. We had conversation. Like, I have conversation on, for sure, every single high level thing that happens with the team. And most other things. That's what these Tuesdays are for. Before these meetings, we're doing our pipeline meeting, and we're going over every deal that we have in escrow. Also, all of the new clients who came into the funnel, and then our lava, anyone who's ready to write offers, ready to sell their home, etc. So we have a pipeline meeting, just tuning up the team at least every Tuesday, and then conversations throughout the week. Sometimes we'll have a spontaneous additional meeting as needed, but we were talking about I don't know what conversation why it came up, but I felt the need to say, hey, because one thing we're not really pointing out, they were virtual.
Yeah, they were virtual.
These people had never been here and seen the home. They saw the videos, and we were very transparent, even pessimistic and negative and nitpicky in these videos for you because you aren't here. We
showed them the marble rolling. Like
we had done everything. Yeah. But I wrote a long email. Oh, it was when the counteroffer was being put together. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
So I was like, are you sure? Are you sure you want this house? You sure? And I
think they had countered out some of us credit that we were requesting or something. And
yeah, because we weren't able to. The seller was conceding certain things, but they weren't conceding to the level that we preferred. Like we were able to achieve some things, but we weren't able to like go after the seller's throat for every little thing that we wanted. Here, I have it here.
I just found it too.
Oh, okay.
Tie.
So I said, no, don't show it. But I said, aloha, John and Jane Doe. I understand that the counteroffer expires in a couple of hours and you intend to accept it before expiration. I just have to take a moment to send this email and stress that there are multiple factors here that raise alarm, and we would typically not advise someone to move forward in this situation for the following reasons. I won't go ahead and read every reason, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big ones. I said, we are working to get backup opinions from experts, which typically need to be ordered by the seller. Ordered by the seller. I think I made a typo. And we do anything we can to mitigate your risks and vulnerabilities here. That includes this email that is intentionally not self-serving, as we stand to not open escrow, but that is not our primary objective. Our primary objective is to help you achieve your goals and look out for your best interest. With that being said, I understand that you're very committed, and if you want it, you still want to move forward, we'll get the DocuSign prep. And I go on to give them more cautions. And at the end, I close it with, just wanted to share these concerns and cautions. Please confirm if you would like Mahi to prepare the DocuSign. So Mahi was covering for Kenny because he was out of town.
Yep.
Let me see if there's one of these that I'll feel comfortable sharing. Oh, uncapped appraisal clause verbiage. So the sellers wanted verbiage to say they're going to get their $2 million irregardless of the appraisal. So the appraiser could have came in and said, this house is crazy, 1.5. Contractually, this verbiage would state such that buyers got to come up with a $500,000 difference. They put that in there, and I didn't like that for our clients.
Right.
Unknown ability to achieve permits and make necessary repairs. Now, at the time, I just wasn't entirely sure and confident that these people were going to be able to get the permits needed, especially in a timely manner, to make the repairs they need. Here's another one. Unknown repair cost and inability or challenge in achieving clarity on the permitting and the cost and scope of the work within the home inspection contingency. So basically, this is going to be such a huge project that within the 10 days of inspection time, we didn't know if we're going to be able to solve all their answers, get all the answers to their questions. And so basically, I was just like, are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
And they said, yes. So that's our brag, is just kind of how we do business, and that we're not going to push you. We're not going to really tell you, don't buy, you shouldn't buy. You know why? I go back and forth with Aiden on this sometimes, because Aiden's a numbers guy. He's like, well, if the S&P does 7%, but the housing market does 4%, I created a spreadsheet for it, and Biden's and the Fed's talking about raising rates or whatever. I love that. I love that my team's so analytical. What I do know is that during COVID, I was scared. I almost felt guilty earning. I was selling homes at the very beginning.
Yeah.
At the very, very beginning, when it was like do a showing and then have to like hire professional cleaning before the next showing, and like, you know, have to bring your own mask with oxygen to do a showing. The world was such a scary place at that time that I thought that buying real estate was such a risk. I wanted to tell my clients no.
Yeah.
A year later, I watched those clients gain $100,000 in equity in 1 year or more in some instances. And I was like, imagine if I had been so overly confident to tell them not to buy. So we're not going to tell you that you must do anything. You should do anything. But we're not afraid to give you our opinion, especially if we feel that it's looking out for your best interests.
Yeah.
So a long-winded way of saying that.
The advice was strong and very discerning, and they still wanted to push forward. And so my brag to that.
Yeah, what's your brag?
So that's the backstory to it and kind of setting the stage. In that 10-day inspection period, not only did we have the standard home inspection, the general home inspection, we also brought out a general contractor. We had the foundation, a structural engineer come out inside that 10-day period so that we could answer as many questions as possible. So I would brag to the team because I was on vacation. You guys plugged right in, helped out, took the lead, and set that stage. And then I kind of came back from vacation full of energy and really holding that weight that they still wanted to move forward as heavily as I could, and made sure that we did a plumbing scope. We did as much as we could to make sure that they knew the house is what it is. It's not getting worse. It's not unsafe to live in, but it needs work before you really start to remodel it. Right?
This is what foundation guy told me. He said, he's like, not going to fall down. Like, you could live in here, but I cannot tell you that.
Right.
He was like, I'm not going to write that down.
Right.
But he's like, I would throw a party here right now. It would just be kind of slanted, but we'd be fine. But he's like, but I can't write that down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So it was a fun one. It was a challenging one. Pushed a lot of envelopes on getting stuff done with time of sensitivity, and super stoked for them. They actually get their keys tomorroh.
That's right.
They land tomorrow at 3:00. So we're actually going to be celebrating with them and actually handing them the keys. And they just texted me and said, hey, there's a couple packages they're already delivering Amazon to the house.
Cool.
So they're super excited. They're literally in the air. Quick brag on one, short orders for an Army guy. We have been talking for a few months, and he's like, I still don't have signed orders, still don't have. Oh, I got my orders. Can you show me these 3 houses? Yep. Showed them 3 houses. They picked one, and it just,
who's this?
Everything
First
lined
name?
out. Elijah.
Oh, Elijah. Cool.
Yeah,
Congrats, Elijah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I got a couple of your questions and comments here. Before that, Kenji's going to go to my computer screen, coreteamhawaii.com. Never mind my low battery. Oh, shoot.
Kenji wanted me to answer one question from the pet video. Can we do that while you're transitioning?
Yeah, well, here. So just showing coreteamhawaii.com. Couple of things. You know, you can click on these. See these neighborhoods? You can click on them, and then a video will pop up of Mahi and I talking about that neighborhood. So that's one thing. If you can't get enough of this content, we have more content on our website that's only there. If you're looking to sell, fill out this form. Go to list your home here. And go to the very bottom for everyone. If you're looking to sell your home, if you have general real estate questions, or you're looking to buy, go to the very bottom, fill out this contact form. Our assistant Charlotte is waiting. If you did it right now while we're still on, she'd call you before this live ended. What was your thing?
So there was a comment back from the pet video that we did just a week or two ago.
Oh, we got multiple comments, and my client Jasmine, she reached out. She's a vet, and she's like, great video. One thing that we messed up on.
Yeah. And there's one from Ashley Van 4197, but I think Jasmine's probably on the same topic.
Yeah.
The Favin is a titer. Is that what Jasmine was talking about?
Yeah. Something. Yeah. I don't remember what it is, but yeah.
The Favin is
basically it's not a booster.
Right.
Titer is not a booster.
Titer's not a
booster. We
booster.
were referring to it as like a rabies booster.
Right. You have to have 2 rabies shots. The titer is the blood test that establishes immunity. Favin is the type of titer that needs to be done. So it's a Favin titer.
But sometimes you need it, sometimes you don't, depending on what kind of rabies test they got?
Correct. So if you have the 2 rabies shots and everything is current and the efficacy is there, then no need. You just send that report in.
Surprised there's so many shots experts. Because, like,
yeah.
even though we kind of messed that up, the effect is the same.
Yeah.
You may or may not need the 3rd shot. Like you may not need a booster, depending. Yeah, same kind of thing. But
we do appreciate.
I'm not mad
the
though. Yeah. And our client, one of our clients, I'm still close with. Actually, they're veterinarians, her and her husband, and she messaged me, and then we bantered about some other stuff. But all right, let's get to the comment section. Yes, we like Lanikai, but crowded. Yep, it's true. Gunny, what's up, Gunny? Garen Collins, love you guys. Planning to move around next July. I connected you with an agent on the Big Island. Does a VA home loan have a different timeline than normal? No, not typically. There's no reason that it needs to. That's the short answer. If you're doing an assumption, it could take longer. And there are a number of unique things that could pop up that could make a VA loan longer, but that could happen with any loan. So short answer is no, same timelines. Now, one other thing that pops up is if you are buying a property that's not on the VA approved list for whatever reason, and it's not a standalone single family, so it's a 1 acre that was divided into 4, or it's a building that's never done a VA loan or that's new or something, that could take longer because the lender has to work to get it approved by the VA. But typically, VA loans are actually easier. It's a big marketing ploy for everyone to say VA specialist, VA specialist. For the most part, they're just easier than the other things. But there are some exceptions to that. Kenji responded to a bunch. Gunny said, what's up, Kenji? Blake Jack. So easy to want to say blackjack. Hey, Derek and core team, just tuning in. Y'all have been great helping Jessica and I with the purchase of our house. Blake and Jessica. Yeah. Fingers still crossed. Any messages to Blake and Jessica?
They're getting close. Maya and Aiden working more closely with them, but
okay.
Shoots, guys, we're fingers crossed with you. We're getting there.
All right. Just wanted to say hi, former Alameda Island residents. What's up, Mike? Oh, that's interesting. Send me some Tucker's ice cream. I miss Alameda Theater, man. You ever been to Alameda Theater?
I've not been to the theater, but I've been to Tucker's ice cream.
Have you? The theater is cool.
I confess.
Whoa, did someone just send us money? You don't have to send us money here. You go buy a shirt. What? Okay. That's a way to get,
Nice.
I will answer your questions for money, but I'll answer them for free too. I'm moving to Honolulu. I've got $750,000. Is this enough for a 2-bed, 2-bath condo? Yes. Yeah. It depends on what you want, right? I think just like the conversation we used to open or a segment of earlier in this live, you can have a hamburger budget with a filet mignon appetite. You could have a filet mignon budget with an A5 Wagyu appetite. Like $750 is definitely enough to get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo with 2 parking even. Yep. But where do you want it at? That's the thing. So I would say, thank you for the $5. I wish there was a way to reverse it. Unnecessary, but we appreciate it so much. Like the thought that counts.
Lots of opportunity at that price point for a 2-2.
So much.
Probably more variety out there available than restricted. You'd have to kind of be front row.
The big thing is we want to make sure that the condo building doesn't have insurance and assessment issues. With every condo purchase we're guiding on right now. Yep. That's what we're looking into. What are their financial reserves? What are the big, CapEx items coming up, capital expenditures, and do they have hurricane insurance and total replacement insurance, or are they one of the buildings that bought a policy that is no longer, and now they're having to go into I got to commit this to memory. It's not called the secondary market, but it's like into the free market, basically really expensive insurance.
It feels like that conversation's almost in front of price opinion.
Yes.
on condo towers.
Yeah,
I think, and probably rightfully so right now. It's a very hot topic as far as insurance is concerned. That I was on a call just before coming on live, and it's a client that we've worked with. Shout out to Keon. He's on Maui. He's been thinking about making the move over to Oahu, and he's ready now. But that was his question about a specific tower that he's super keyed in on, like what's going on with fees, HOAs, assessments, how's insurance.
Especially he's saying I have 750,000. That almost makes me feel like you have cash, which happens quite a bit. Even more important that you take a look at all the docs and we have conversations about it, because when you're getting a loan, the lender is a second set of eyes. The underwriting is scrutinizing it for you. I would almost want you to get a loan, hold it for the 6 or 7 months, which is the minimum requirement for the lender not to get in trouble. Get you a loan, hold it for a minimum amount of time, and then pay it off, just so underwriting runs through that for you. Another option is there's this condo doc review service that we can introduce you to as well. But a lot that can go into that, but short answer is yes, definitely enough to get a two bath condo.
Yeah, those things that you are stronger at with either cash and actually even VA. There's a point to make about a VA buyer, because if a building is VA approved,
that's
technically some of the condo documentation isn't all that necessary from an underwriting or from a lender's viewpoint, because it's already been VA approved.
Kenny's bringing up a strength and a vulnerability for government loan products. VA, most notably, FHA. USDA is probably not going to apply except for maybe far on the west side. But if you're on the government approved list for, say, a VA loan, and your building is the Palm Towers or something, and there are these issues that other loans, like lenders can't close a conventional loan at the Palm Towers, this fictitious building, a VA loan can close. So advantageous for you because you can compete and kind of get whatever you want. Also vulnerable to you because you may not know that there are these things that you should be raising an eyebrow at, or like going after the seller's throat for credits, because if your agent and lender don't point that out to you, that, hey, by the way, you're kind of going through the back door, you're going through the side door on this because you're VA loan.
Right.
If you had a conventional loan, you couldn't even get this because there are financial issues with the association. So the government loan products are advantageous, but also leave you more vulnerable for that.
Or if you're all cash and you don't even take the opportunity to look at those things, you're walking into a trap potentially.
Yeah. All right. Gani, how soon before the rest of the schools are done in Ho'opili? I don't know. I've heard a couple of years on the middle, I think is what I've heard. But I just, even if they said something, who knows? It could be pushed back a year, 2 years.
Honouliuli is open.
Honouliuli middle?
Middle is open.
Is open?
Yeah.
Is it the elementary?
That's middle.
I don't know.
The elementary school, I could easily see being 2 years because they've basically just taken down the black fences across from Soho Pool and flattened that ground out. So they've scraped.
That's where the
graded.
elementary is going to be?
That's what the plans have said since we've been active in there.
So those kids go to that middle school now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have.
I don't know that.
We have a couple. Yeah.
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 You know, come to think of, I've seen the kids leaving that school before. I guess I just haven't thought about it.
Yeah, I did a homeowner tour with a client just a few days ago, and we were finished right about 2:00. So
yeah,
for sure, it's an active middle school. Yeah. And we have a client that's renting up in Makakilo that wants to have their kid go there and looking to buy later this year. So pretty well versed on Honouliuli. Don't know exactly what dates are for elementary. They've got one that, again, they've just broken ground and they're scraping, so not even foundation is in or anything. So that's easily could be a year or two.
Yeah.
And they have a high school going in across the street, some more shopping centers, stuff like that. So they've got another 5-10 years of work to do there. So
yeah. Okay. Hella clutch. Did I miss anything? Is Lanikai Beach shrinking? No, this is Michael Latta. Is Lanikai Beach shrinking due to the seawalls? Maybe. I'm not a coastline erosion and ecosystem expert. It seems as if, when we were Kenji, when we were kids here, did you ever hear of the term king tide? It wasn't a thing, right? But now you hear king tide and these places that when we were kids were just beaches, people are like up to their knees with these certain tidal shifts. So it seems as if all beaches around the island are being encroached on a bit, with Lanikai being very low and at sea level a bit more. Hella clutch. Have you heard of the California Dream for All program? Are there any plans for Hawaii to adopt something like that? We are affiliated with a bunch of agents in California, so I've seen them post about this. I can't remember if this is for like teachers, a shared appreciation loan, off education course which covers shared appreciation, how it affects your mortgage. California Dream for All. I'm looking up who it's for. I can't remember if this is like a teachers, firefighters, etc. thing, or if this is just for everyone. My first look, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. It looks like it could be for everyone. Hawaii already has this. If you meet certain income requirements, there's like HHFDC and H something DC. There's two versions of it. I don't love the one of them. I don't love that forever and for all, the government will take a percentage of your sale. And, you know, you could, if you make 500 grand, they might be taking 100 something thousand worth of that over time. I don't love that. And I would prefer you not to buy that if you don't have to. There's another one. So in Eva Gentry, Ka'ulu by Eva Gentry, call us before going there, please, and let us, work with us. But they have the version where it's 5 years, and the max that appreciation that will be shared with the government is, I believe, 36,000. I'd have to refresh myself, but that's right. Fair. Like that's great. Because you should probably want to try to hold your home for 5 years anyways. And if you're going to make 100, 200 grand on the entry, and then now you're going to, share some with the government, fine, great. Thanks for investing with me and propping me up and getting me going. Them taking a percentage forever creates a lot of problems. For one, it just doesn't let you experience the wealth building and appreciation at the rate and velocity that I'd like you to. If you find yourself upside down and underwater, like some clients that I previously had at my last brokerage, they weren't my clients. They were this other person's clients. And I hated that. They could not sell the home because the way the numbers work, the government perpetually required more than the sellers could possibly give them. Now, they had found themselves in financial trouble. The house was in bad condition. I think they stopped making payments. I can't remember if they leveraged against it, but in any case, they did find themselves in a bad position. But the government was going to require they were going to say they were going to sell for $1 million. The government was going to require 25% of that, like 250,000. But they didn't have that to give the government, so they just couldn't sell. And so for years and years, their credit was screwed until they judicially foreclosed on the property. And a decade later, they were able to they were able to begin to start to rebuild their credit, which would be another 7 years potentially. The California Dream for All, I get what it is. If you can avoid having to do that, you should. But I know California and Hawaii are expensive, so sometimes you can't. So I'm not entirely against them. G said, Wakai, what are you saying? Sorry about my spelling. Yes, I have cash at $750. I'm moving from Sydney, Australia. Is that what that is?
That's awesome.
Yeah, $750 cash. I would just say reach out to us. We'll do a consult. We'll talk about the options. We'll pull up the map. We'll show you, ask you your preferences, what minimum you need, 2 parking, you need a gym, whatever. We'll show you the buildings possible. And then if you start to get serious on some stuff, that's when we get into the nitty gritty of helping you vet it out.
Yep.
And being that you're coming from what seems like if that means Sydney, yeah, you said Australia, financing may not be as possible. So hit us up. All right. We're going to start to wrap this up unless you guys have last questions to squeeze in. Gunny said, when is Don Quixote coming to Kapolei? It was
Same time
supposed
the
to be
rail's done. No, I'm
January
kidding.
this year, but now it's delayed. I have no idea. Did you know Don Quixote was coming to Kapolei?
Yeah. The whole Kmart.
Oh, that you told me that like a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago.
So, little bit my stomping grounds. So I would just say that I've driven by there a few times. Not a lot of progress. I don't have. I'm not holding my breath. But
That's gonna be Don Quixote.
Popeyes is open. They're putting in a Jamba Juice. I think Jamba Juice is due to be open in that same parking lot
Yeah.
where the old Kmart is, where Don Quixote is moving in. It just seems like there's more going on front of parking lot
Yeah.
on Kamokila, and not as much going on in the big building in the back. So TBD. I wouldn't probably next year if I was gonna guess. Yeah, and it's
City?
dope.
What's Kid
I
City?
just actually wanted to
Like
shout that out.
balls
Good call.
and slides and stuff?
Yeah. So there's one in Honolulu that's 2-story.
Oh, is that the one you showed us on the Christmas ride?
No.
Is Kid City the one in Ward?
Yeah. There's one.
Oh,
in
that's
Ward.
Kid City. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's fine.
it's fun.
What was it, like $25 or something?
No, it's not even that.
Yeah.
It's like I want to say it's 13, 15 per kid.
In Kapolei?
Yeah. It's
Oh, and there's roller skating in Kapolei too now.
yeah. I like the one. Well, I'm gonna be a little bit of a homer because I do live on that side. But the one in Honolulu is 2-story, and the only thing the one in Honolulu has is there's some water play stuff.
Yeah.
That isn't in Kapolei, but they've got immersive play.
I'm sure Kapolei one's bigger though.
It's a big. It used to.
Yeah.
They moved into a vacated church.
What's oh, that's cool. What's the other one that you
Keiki Kingdom.
Keiki Kingdom? That's
Yeah.
another thing for
Yeah.
families that they can do with kids.
Yeah.
And that's like some old store or warehouse
Yeah.
or something too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you said Keiki Kingdom was better.
And I
Is that better than the Kapolei Kid City?
I would put Kapolei. I think it's better now. This new one.
Kid City is better?
The one that was at Kamakanali'i Mall was just a retail storefront, so smaller.
Oh, I didn't know they had one.
Keiki Kingdom was better than that. But now that Kid City has moved into this bigger, full-size warehouse building, it's like 3-4 rooms, huge slides, climbing wall, zip line.
Yeah, it's for the kids, bro.
It's
Not for you.
Hey, if it's dad day, that's where we're going.
Yeah. Right on. All right, guys. So what would be realistic price for single family new construction, 3-bed, 3-bath around Kailua? Well, or anywhere on the east side of Oahu. So if it's new construction, it's going to be a one-off. There is a new construction that fits this description right now, slightly up the coast on Kamehameha Highway. It's in a flood zone, so they had to do a lot of stuff to reinforce the foundation. I think that one is around 1.2. I think they're listed at like 1.3, or they were, but they let it go for 1.2, I think. You could, a newer, also 3-bed, 3-bath. That's very unique. Typically, you're not going to see a 3-bed, 3-bath. So to give you an idea, if you were to building for you would start out around $150 per square foot. That's low end. It could very easily creep up to the $250 to $300 per square foot, depending on your preferences. And so take 250 times 2,000 square foot if you had 3-bedroom, 3-bath, or say it's 1,500. So that's 750,000 for the construction. And that piece of land in Kaneohea, Kailua is probably worth no less than 600, probably like 900,000. So a 3-bedroom, 3-bath in Kailua or Kaneohea on the low, more likely is a 4.2. Like 3.3s just rarely exist.
Or a 4.3.
Maybe a 4.3, but you're talking 1 point. Something in the 1.2s would be Kaneohe and wouldn't be new.
Yep.
If it were newer and weren't something unique like this flood zone one I'm referring to or something in Kailua, 1 minimum 1.7, 1.6, 1.7 minimum, probably. Maybe surprise me in something in. No, if it's new construction, even Enchanted Lakes, whatever, it's still going to be 1.6 plus. Kaneohe, you might find something newer like that, 1.4 plus, depending on community.
Yep.
So yeah, just to give you an idea. All right, guys, we got to go help other clients sell some more houses. We got showings tonight with Ruben and Faith. Shout outs to Ruben and Faith. You got showings with anyone today? You want to shout out any clients?
I am working with Jerry. I'll shout out to Jerry.
Shout outs to Jerry and Carrie.
We're going to be collaborating on an offer here and trying to see if we can get this thing going for them in Kaneohe.
Yeah, we were talking about that, but that's actually let's wrap it up and let's go talk about that one right now.
All right. Well, guys.